Hi, friends. It's Deborah Morrison here, and I am launching my mastermind in which we are going to create intentional wealth together, women. Yes, we are. And I kind of been asked, like, all right, so what are we going to do in the mastermind? Well, I kind of think we're going to answer these questions that have been lingering for a while. For some of us, like, maybe are we like fed up with this one size fits all, like financial advice? Well, I never espouse that. As a practicing financial planner, we always had completely customized results. And yet, there are many people that are doing it themselves and or are receiving horrible financial advice, if you will, from brokers and whatnot that give them, wrong information and take them down a detour, which is completely unnecessary and costly and costly. Yeah. So let me just relay a little funny story about that where one size really does not fit all, and it never really does. But there we were, traveling, about 25 of us with Dr. Carolyn Mace, down to the Amazon and central parts of South America. And it was a magnificent tour. Yet it was about 6 months after the World Trade tragedy, and all the airline schedules were completely asunder. I mean, just I think we were on 21 different flights as we targeted through, and I've obviously visited and toured and hiked Machu Picchu, and I hiked Hyena Picchu because it was there. But the striking thing of that tour in this example was that, because the airline schedules were so whacked out, we were told about a day before, instead of going from Brazil, Manaus, Brazil, back to Miami and quote unquote home, we were going to actually go south to Rio de Janeiro and then fly from Rio de Janeiro home, which was pleasing to everyone except moi, because this added a whole day to our trip. And I was the lead speaker. I was the only speaker at a gathering of 25 area businesswomen at my firm. It was the only time, 4 years of my entrepreneurial career, that I was actually a partner in a billion-dollar firm. And there I was speaking. So I had to swiftly adjust, and adjust I did. So while my friends were out touring the Cristo, for example, I unfortunately was running around, and I'm completely sweat soaked because you dare not carry a lot of money, especially as a single person and as a woman, in downtown Rio. We were told, don't take any jewelry. Absolutely not. So you remind yourself, I'm going to get off a plane now with the new schedule. I'm going to meet my friend at, literally at the luggage, drive to Chatham, New Jersey, where the firm was located, and deliver this address and seminar. And so I had to buy everything in Rio de Janeiro: suit, skirt, jacket, blouse, shoes, jewelry. Well, it's not set up in Rio de Janeiro. At least it wasn't then. Like, okay, here's the hardware in the city and here's the fashion district. It was like you could have a hardware store next to a shoe store, right? This child didn't speak the language, any number of the languages that they spoke. So I was completely adrift. And I'm running around and finding everything I needed. I had to get the suit tailored, blah, 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 blah. The blouse was the biggest issue. One size fits all. They had these blouses that were about this thick. It was like a slinky. And I had an imagination of what that was going to look like if I put it on my body. And that might have been interesting, like at a Halloween party, but wasn't going to carry any water with me presenting at my firm. So I was very convinced that this whole one size fits all benefits the vendor who's looking to sell, and yet it doesn't end up helping any of us consumers, which is exactly my experience of newscasters broadcasting the variation in the price, for example, of a particular stock or a bond or an index. It is noise, and it doesn't impact our portfolio success, which is, after all, what we're interested in, right? So are you going to want more retirement income, let's say in the first 5, 7 years of your retirement, when presumably you're more mobile? Or do you expect your lifestyle to be rather staid and require systematic investments that don't vary so much? Should you invest, for example, in raw land versus rental real estate? Well, it depends, right? Do you want any current income, or do you want current income that also carries the income tax? Because investments spin off taxable income, and some people have a lot of investments spinning off taxable income during their peak earning years. Why? You don't need the income then. Why pay the tax on income that you didn't even need? Why don't you save that for when you need it? You're starting to get the intentionality that interweaves everything that I'm about. So when we take a look at our dollars, right, our single dollars, and these happen to be all smashed together, this dollar, it cannot do everything. It cannot give you safety of principal. It cannot give you income. It cannot give you tax-free income. It cannot give you growth on the principal or the dividend income. You must decide what it is you want each dollar to do. And so, of course, you're going to have different dollars running different tasks like we do in life. Like one automobile size doesn't fit everyone. You know, I drive a BMW sports car. I don't need an SUV. And then there are people that need an SUV. And so we make choices like this all in the other facets of our life. And yet we tend to then cotton to somebody gives you a tip on finances and you launch into investing in that tip. Well, let me assure you that there are distinctions to be made in finances. There are distinctions to be made in terms of what it is we're looking to achieve in this next chapter of our lives, however long it is or short. And so we're going to journal together. We're going to mastermind. We're going to tease out these goals and objectives. Then we're going to prioritize them on my kind of trademarked goal investment timeline. And we're going to mastermind how we can utilize strategies to get those goals accomplished, to actually feel the success and the happiness that accompanies that, because we deserve it. Yes, we do. And so tune in, click the link below, check out the mastermind. I'd love for you to consider joining us because we can do it, women. Yes, we can.